I have moved 11 times in 22 years. You heard me right. Now, out of those 11 homes that I actually moved from, 9 of them were new construction. So I know a lot about it. The other 2 that I did not buy, they were resales. I'm living in one right now, and a lot going wrong with my house right now. So there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons to considering purchasing a brand new home, and I'm gonna get into it right now. The beautiful thing about buying a new home is that everything's so spanking new. It's so beautiful. I miss living in a new home. Your countertops are beautiful. The style's all current. The floor plans are more of that modern floor plan. You got new HVAC systems and water heaters that are sparkling. Everything works. You got LED lighting and you got solar and you got smart home devices. Everything is new. The house that I'm in right now is a resale, and it's starting to get a little tired, right? I need to tent my house because I have stupid termites, and my plumbing needs to be repiped because I got brown stuff coming out of my faucet, and I can't sleep well at night because I'm worried about those stinking slab leaks. My fences are starting to fall down. I got to get those repaired. My appliances, even though I don't cook, they just don't look good. They're not operating the way they should. So the nice thing about a brand new home is you don't have to worry about any of that. And the stuff that I'm having to take care of on my house right now, because it's older and I'm having these issues, I have to maintain it. It's very costly. These are costly repairs, and I don't get to see it. I don't care if the HVAC system gets replaced. I don't care about the repipe. No one sees it, right? It's a pain in the butt. So the beauty of a new home is everything's new, pristine, in gorgeous condition. Another thing that's wonderful about moving into a new community is the neighbors are all excited. They just bought a new house and they want to share their excitement with you. And they're going to share their landscaper and their design style or their paint color. And they're happy and they go hang out on the street. They do happy hour and they kumbaya in the park. Now, I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, some of my good friends today are people that I met in some of my new communities. They're excited. Whereas when I moved into the house that I'm in now, all the neighbors hate each other. They've already got their landscaping done. They've been beat down, and they see somebody move into the neighborhood. They don't even drop cookies or introduce themselves. They just get that garage door opener and they see me coming. They go in there, slam that garage door. Older developed communities aren't always the friendliest. I am friends with my neighbors now, but it took a little bit of work. Now, a friendly little tip, whether you're in a new development or an older community, this is really helpful if you want friends and you want to connect to the community. What I do is I write a little card and I print it out and I deliver it to each one of my neighbors. And in that card, it says, hey, I need friends. I'm new. My son's 9 years old. He plays soccer. I ride horses and I'm a real estate person. And my husband plays golf. If you're interested in being friends with any of us, we're open. You would not believe the response. Everyone's so friendly and so nice. You just got to reach out. But I will tell you, there's an excited buzz in the community when it's a new development. And the neighbors, I'm telling you, they're on happy dust. I'm telling you, it's so fun moving into a new community. I miss that. Lots of fun. For all my loyal followers out there, I hate contingent offers, meaning that a buyer presents an offer to you saying, hey, Mr. Seller, we want to buy your house, but we have to sell our house first. Admittedly, I'm in 2 contingent offers right now. Now, all the contingencies are removed, so that gives me a little bit of confidence, but there's a lot of problems that could arise from accepting a contingent offer. The market's definitely shifting. Now, for those of you out there like, no, it's not, Audra. My market's really hot. I don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong. Okay, I'm telling you right now, the numbers don't lie. We got inventories that are skyrocketing. We got mortgage rates that are stabilizing. And you turn on any news channel, and let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I don't want to make this channel political, but I'm boots on the ground. I'm one of the top producers in my area, which is Orange County, California. And just the days on market times are doubling. So most homeowners are a little bit more open to contingent offers, but a lot of them are like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. So if you are one of those homeowners that are like wanting to sell, but want to make an offer contingent and you want something special, a new construction home might be the right match for you because most new builders, new construction will consider contingent offers because, they need to build the house still and they still got to put the roof on and do the paint. So they're a little more lenient about accepting contingent offers. Not a bad option for those of you out there like, no way. I'm not going to get displaced and be homeless until I find another house under contract. Okay, this is a good option for you. The other nice thing about buying a new home is the builder will give the buyer some incentives, meaning money. And I went to Lennar Homes. They have a new development out in Rancho Mission Viejo, California. And I went there today just to get some ideas, like what are builders offering? Are they still doing what they used to do? And the answer is yes. Most builders want you to use their lender. So in this particular situation, they were offering the buyer $15,000 to do what they wanted with it. You could either use their lender and buy down points on a loan, or you could use that $15,000 for their design center, maybe do some flooring options or upgrades and do something on the kitchen backsplash. But it's kind of exciting to get $15,000 towards your new home, which, by the way, you'll eat that up really quickly, but that's kind of fun, right? Every penny counts. Now, for you bean counters out there, you're thinking what I'm thinking. How about we just take that $15,000 incentive and just take it off the sales price? And unfortunately, most builders won't do that because they're trying to get, each one of the phases to have appreciation, and they need to stabilize their pricing. So no, they typically don't do that. I don't know of any, who knows, but when I bought my homes, that was not an option. When I was touring the new homes today at Lennar, the sales rep named Kurt, really nice, knowledgeable guy, also confirmed the fact that they don't take that $15,000 incentive off the sales price. So the other thing wonderful about new homes is that builder warranty. So there's usually a 1-year warranty on all appliances, the manufacturer's warranty. In California, all builders have to warranty their homes for 10 years against latent defects. And that's like the big stuff, like roof and floods and slab leaks, things like that. If your faucet is a little loose, they're not going to come and tighten it after 9 years. However, it is nice knowing that you have a warrantable product. Now, my favorite thing about buying a new home was that customization. I was able to pick my floors and my countertops and my cabinets. It was fun. It was like my own custom home. So if you are purchasing a new home and if you get in early enough, you are able to pick your own custom choices, and it just makes it feel even more special when you do purchase your home and able to make those selections. Super cool. Love it. Instead of having to rip everything out and redo it like I had to in this house. Very expensive. It's not fun. So there are a lot of cons to buying a new home. And the one that comes to mind is how expensive it is to purchase a new home because your landscaping typically isn't done. So, the associations, at least in our neighborhood, say you got 6 months to get your front and backyards all done. It's hard to do that. And if you do it, it's very costly. You get a landscape designer in there. You got to get approval from the association. Oh, what a nightmare. The other thing that usually doesn't come with the house are window treatments and really fancy lighting fixtures. Got to buy those on your own. They're not included. And usually when you're looking at these model homes and they're beautiful and you're like, oh, I see myself here. Well, the stuff that you see in those model homes are all upgrades. And you're just blown away when you sit down with the designer and you're like, wait a second, I only get white tile, a white carpet, and white paint. And they go, yeah, do you want recessed lighting? That'll cost you. Like all these things you see in that model home are additional costs. So be careful because those costs really do add up. And I think most home buyers of new homes are overwhelmed with the cost of getting their house furnished and upgraded to their taste. A lot of people don't know this, but it was a kind of a con, in my opinion, when you're buying new development, which is it takes a while to get those comps in there, right? It takes a while to get that appreciation growth. And in every single one of the new communities that I invested in, I'd say at year 5 is when we really started digging in and we really started experiencing some of that higher appreciation. But if you are looking to invest in a new community and flip it within a year or two, the appreciation growth is hard. You're going to be surprised that it takes a while to get, some equity and some profit into your home. Just takes longer. And I just want to warn you, if you're buying new product, plan to live in that area for at least 5 years. Just my experience. If anyone's getting any benefit out of this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. And you guys know, it's going really slow right now. I might give this up. I'm kidding. But help a girl out, subscribe to my channel. All right, let's get back into it. Another downside of buying a brand new home is there's so much construction going all the time, right? You got the trucks that are coming and all the workmen are doing stuff. And there's trash and big gulps all over the place. And we got landscapers that are doing their stuff. And every time you wake up in the morning, you got grit in your teeth because there's always construction stuff in the air. I hated that. Oh my goodness. So just understand that that is a downside of moving into a new community is the noise and all the construction. It seems like it'll never stop. Oh, and there's something about that jackhammer. 6 o'clock in the morning, which they're not supposed to do. I hate jackhammers. I hate those things. This is why I usually buy the last phase in any development is because I just don't want to deal with all the construction. But the problem with buying at the later phases is realize the builder's already baked in an appreciation or an increase in price in each one of their phases. They typically leave the very best lots till the very end so they can add a premium to it. So there's pros and cons to everything. If you are willing to be the very first phase or early phase, there is some risk for you because you just don't know if the builder is going to continue the rest of the phases. You get rewarded with the lower price, but you also have to realize that the builder doesn't create a great plan or doesn't have a great model or doesn't have a great investor, they could just like go bankrupt and not finish the rest of the phases. That's happened a lot. We all know, we've heard of horror stories. So make sure you do your research. You are rewarded for a lower price, but some risk involved. Let's not forget that. The other con is these builders are having to build their new homes in like the outskirts, right? So in my area, I live in a very densely populated area and there's no more land to be built. I mean, everything's built. So they have to go more inland. For commuters, it takes longer to drive to work. And now you got, extra gas mileage or extra toll fees that you have to pay. So be aware of that. And typically, builders are trying to maximize their profits. And one of the most expensive things for most homes is the land. So their yards usually aren't as big either. So be mindful of that. Just realize you drive all the way out there. I would practice going on that commute and driving around to see if there are other amenities that are close by, because sometimes you're out in the boonies. You got this beautiful home, but you don't have grocery stores and you don't have modern conveniences close by, good restaurants. So make sure you do your due diligence and make sure it's, in a good area that's going to be a long-term good investment for you. But I hated driving all the way out there. That was a hike at Rancho Mission Viejo. Not going to lie, it was actually really pretty, but woo, I'd hate to commute. Okay, the absolute major poo-poo about buying any new product is this thing called Mello-Roos, which is an additional tax that you're assessed with. It's a bond. You don't get to write it off on your property taxes, and it's hefty. And what that bond does, it supports streets and schools, because if you're in a very rural area or an area that doesn't have schools and streets, then they need to be developed. And because of Prop 13, budgets were cut. And so now it relied on the homeowner now to help develop that. So Lennar, which was the builder that I was viewing today, this property I was looking at was about $1 million. You can see right here. The Mello-Roos for this $1 million property was $8,000, and the property tax base was 1%. That's a lot of money, right? So you're looking, let's say, $10,000 for property taxes, an additional $8,200 for the Mello-Roos. That's a hefty tax bill. So be careful when you're looking at new homes. You really need to dial in what the heck that property tax looks like. Now, typically these bonds last anywhere from 30 to 40 years, and they can bump up every year. It's usually about 3% is the max they can increase every year. Very, very, very not good. But you do get a really cool, new schools and new amenities, and becomes a very desirable community for a lot of families out there. Some of you may not have Mello-Roos, you might have different bonds, but you are going to want to definitely ask that question if you are buying a new property. The other downside about buying new product is delays. There could be delays in construction, whether it be weather or materials. So if you're trying to time moving into this house and you're trying to, sell your departing property and it's like delay after delay, you might have to end up in a hotel because it happens all the time. Builders are notorious for missing deadlines. I promise you. So annoying. Okay, this one's a doozy. A lot of you may not know this, but if you are working with a buyer's agent and you sign an agreement saying, Audra, you're my buyer's agent, I'm going to give you a certain amount of percentage or a certain flat fee if you represent me in finding a home for me. And let's say I'm showing you a bunch of resale homes and you're like, yeah, these are nice, but I want this new property. Can you go make an offer on this new property for me? And the answer is no. All new developers, at least in my area, have their own contract that they want you to sign. And they sometimes do not cooperate with buyer's agent compensation or buyer's agent commission. So you might be required to pay me a commission that we agreed to even though the new builder does not cooperate. So when you're working with these new developers and you already have an agreement with your buyer's agent, just understand the cost that might account for. So you got to bake that into the equation. Oh, you might even want to have a side conversation with your agent if you are considering new product. Okay. It's worth having. And of course, if you're looking for a good agent in your area, I do have a referral network. Happy to coordinate some agents in your area for you to interview. It's no cost to you. There's no obligation. There's a link down below. And of course, if you are in my area, you can always hire me. I'm really good at my job. All right, let's get back into it. Another downside to buying new product is everything looks cookie cutter, even though the builders go to a lot of effort to make sure the elevations on each one of the properties, meaning, what the outside looks a little bit different. And when you're driving down like the new model row or the new construction zones, they all look kind of cookie cutter. And then they plant these small little trees and landscaping looks kind of not so good. It takes about 5 years to get all the growth and all the greenery to make it look a little less cookie cutter. But most of the developers today are doing a really good job of trying to make each one of the houses look a little bit different, but just takes a while for all the greenery to grow in. So it looks a little bit more mature and a little more lush. So be patient with that. But it is a downside when you first move in. So whether you're buying a resale or whether you're buying a new home, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you do the research on who the developer is. Have they been around for a while? Do they have good customer service? Are they using quality materials? Go knock on neighbors' doors, people that just moved into the community. Or if you're buying a resale, go knock on doors. Ask people about the product. Ask them about the neighborhood. Ask them about their experience with the builder. It is really that important. I can't tell you how many horror stories I've heard where someone buys, a new home, they'd never heard of the builder, took a chance, and now they're stuck with a lemon. Really important you do your research. Okay, before you hang up, subscribe to my channel. Trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't know why it's so slow. I'm getting disappointed and beat down. Like, I help a girl out, man. I'm kidding. All right. Well, not really. But anyway, thanks for watching my channel. I love to hear from you. I've been talking to a lot of you on the phone and getting some great comments and some wonderful voicemails and emails. So thank you for all your support. Have a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great one.